So I just removed all the solar panels because I'm about to finish up the hardtop, and I of course need to have a cover under the solar panels and also cable gates, and yeah, so it is definitely the finish line of the hardtop build, and this is also part of the superstructure that's going to take the weight here on the aft, because I have this super strong cockpit arch that will be able to take the load. The roof doesn't weigh much anyway, but it's to have the needed support so I can actually walk on the roof all the way back to the solar panels. Luckily, I have a huge battery bank, my power bank on board. I can survive for quite some days without solar panels.
To the journey, the waves we roam, in the spirit of freedom we found our home. With Be Free as our compass, we'll always soar, sailing through life forever, wanting more.
In the previous episode, I introduced you to my new friends here that left Ukraine 12 years ago, and they are on their second round around the world with their Beneteau 45. And as you can see, they have also modified their yacht with a hardtop and showed us some pretty interesting solutions. So here you have surfboards, scuba flippers.
It is for free divings and 3 twin tip for kite surfing.
And surfboard.
And
Fishing rods.
And fishing rod on the other side. Fishing rod are there. At the end.
This is actually quite a clever solution. But now it's time to continue with my own project, something that has taken much longer time than planned for, not to forget getting more expensive as well.
Yo, doesn't matter if you're Aussie or Norwegian, step through the door, you're part of the legion. We treat you like fam, no need for disguise, just sweet island beats under Bali skies.
No strict rules, just bring your smile, you're living the dream. Island style might be far from home, but you found your tribe.
I'm not gonna lie, it has been quite hard to get back to work again after fighting data problems and trying to catch up with creating content for you guys. I'm at the final step, extending the hardtop now, and at least all I have to do is to replicate what I did on starboard side, so it should be pretty straightforward. I need to make a long stringer or support beam if you like, and also here I use honeycomb as core material. This one is 18mm thick, and I laminate both sides here on the aft bench to make sure it's straight. When it's done, it will reveal how straight the roof is, as that's almost done. Also on this side, I will need to cut some lines in the outside curve in order to reshape the roof a bit as consequence of earlier modifications, and also extending of the hardtop itself. So again, it has been a bit back and forth. With my glue gun, ropes and some wood support, I made sure everything was perfectly aligned after the minor adjustments. And now it's lots of bits and pieces that's being made, and again I'm closing the cells at the ends that will be laminated and difficult to reach later. This would probably not make much sense at this stage, but I'm sure it will be more clear later. Honeycomb as core material is super strong, but it has big open cells when it's cut, so to avoid water penetration it needs to be closed. Just as I did on the other side, and it for sure goes faster now, having already thought this through. So it has been more about double checking measurements and curves, making sure it is identical as starboard side. So while the beam is tapped in and the laminated adjustments are being cured, and before removing the solar panels for a few days, I prefabricate all the pieces in advance to limit the time without solar energy. And these two profiles will be fiberglass on both sides, and also here the cells needs to be closed. The legs, or the cradle if you like, are only to make things easier, and to avoid these pieces to twist when being wet from polyester. Basically same method I use on the other pieces I made, securing shape, lines and curves. Only for the first layer to be cured, Then all the support are removed. An extra layer on strategic places are added. And this strange looking thing is going to be installed from the outside and in, and will serve several functions. Not only added strength to the structure and load from the top, but even as a platform for electronics outside and inside. I have only one layer on all sides before cutting it to perfect fit. And after it's put in place, it will then receive the needed layers on both outside and inside. As you can see, this results in sort of a mechanical fitted solution instead of just fiberglassing everything together. More work, but I believe this solution is better as it will allow for some flex and twist. So it's about to be sunset, a little bit early, but I'm hungry. And I have the Varung close here, so I'm gonna go there and have some dinner.
Berlugai, kau membantu selalu right. Ini bukan hotel bintang, tapi cinta dalam bintang. Santai dulu, breathe it in, jangan.
Having an inflatable tender in Indonesia is maybe not that optimal. The dock facilities in general are not so good, often with a bit rustic pangas rubbing their sides to yours. It always feels good when a milestone is passed. Last week has been pretty strange weather with lots of rain and even strong winds. So it's not only social distractions that has slowed me down, the weather are partly to blame as well. So I was planning on doing some fiberglass on the outside, but it is incoming rain. Too bad, because the temperature is perfect. It's not too hot. Actually, it's a bit cold. It's 26 degrees, and so many years in the tropics, that feels cold. If I only knew that both the weather predictions, the weather radar, and even the incoming clouds would fool me, I would probably kept on working at least 2 more hours. At least I can enjoy this beautiful sunset with Sandy and Elle that calls me Uncle Thomas.
Di bak jalan hati tenang, SwT sizzling, lampu temaram, cinta mengalir lewat lagu sailors datang, vibes menyatu from kota to Serangan Bay. We let the rhythm guide our way. No place like this under the sky. We feel so free, you and I.
Halo. Apa kabar? Bagus.
Mas, sweet and sour chicken, please.
Thank you. I am an early bird here, and it has its advantages not waiting for food. And spending entire day in the sun makes me tired, so it's another early evening on me as I plan to start up again tomorrow before sunrise. I have expressed this many times here on my channel. The fact that I just love the sunrise moment, even at anchor or like now tied to a mooring ball. I just love it. When sailing, it is the promise of a new beautiful day, but that's also when I normally start my power nap routine. Now, working on my project, it is to utilize the max amount of daylight and also to be as effective as possible before it gets too hot. I have borrowed this tiny petrol generator from Kumang at the Varung Pakyalan, as I'm going to start with lots of grinding and sanding. My diesel generator is still working flawlessly after the ridiculous modification I did a year ago. The challenge now is sadly all the plastic in the water here, so running my diesel generator would just clog up the water intake and filters. And even small particles slipping through the filters would kill the impellers. And this tiny generator delivers enough power to my power tools for this job. Theoretically, I would be able to run power tools via inverters, given the fact I do have a bigger power bank than many so-called electric sailboats have. However, it's simple mathematics to understand for the amount of hours I'm gonna use this, that even my power bank capacity becomes a joke pretty fast, even with solar panels hooked up again. For me, a huge milestone was passed, and the reason for being so happy yesterday. No more wooden frames or supports needed, meaning I actually have reached far in this build. It has taken a while, but I do start to see the end now. So I'm gonna make the plates that's gonna be under the solar panels, and I have to prepare all the places that I cannot reach after it's fiberglass together. So some parts need some paint because it's impossible to paint it later, and you don't want exposed fiberglass because it will soak water and become heavier during the time. I'm now using my cockpit table as a workstation, and then move the laminated bits and pieces to cure everywhere I have an open spot in this chaos. These profiles are gonna receive 2 more layers on the inside, but will be first trimmed off so I can close the ends with micro balloons before I laminate also the edges. In this way I avoid air bubbles on the sides as well. The outside will be laminated when it's installed in its designated place, just as I will do with the top pieces for the corners on the arch. I'm a bit under pressure here now, as I don't have solar panels, so this unstable weather is not exactly helping. As long as it's only overcast, it's all good, keeping the temperature down, but the amount of rain lately has been surprising. After all, it's supposed to be dry season. But there is no reason for panic yet. I've reached far, and in 3 days, with 0 energy coming in, I'm still at 75% on stored energy. This panel have received 1 layer on each side, and after excess fiberglass is trimmed off, also this will have the edges filled with micro balloons to close the cells. So, of course, when I'm about to trim the plates that's going to be under the solar panel, my angle grinder failed on me. So either I have to see if I can fix it, or I would have to find another one. I think maybe somewhere on my boat I do have another angle grinder. I will find out. But yeah, that's the situation. So I was hoping to get a little bit further today. I got 1 plate up, and I'm gonna show you. I talk a lot about to close the cells. If you look at this here, I don't know if you can see it, but that's the end of the honeycomb when you cut it. So it's basically this open cells here that needs to be closed. So under here I'm gonna have these tubes. I'm gonna put in several because I'm gonna make sure that I have the infrastructure I need, not only for now but even for future. So it's gonna be here. So I do have everything I need on board, but failing tools was the last thing I need right now. But that's how it is sometimes. So, well, also do have a lot of work in the roof, I'm gonna explain later. But look at this, no support, no beams, nothing. It's starting to look how it's gonna be. I'm really happy with this. So yeah, if you watched all the way to here, I want to say thank you so much. And if you haven't already, I will be very happy to see you subscribe. Help me grow this channel. And for all my amazing patrons, thank you so much for supporting me and keeping me stay afloat. I really appreciate you guys. So until next time, have fun, stay safe, and enjoy life.
Chasing new adventures where the sun sets low, sharing cold drinks as the evening glow. No matter the faith or the path that they tread, it's the love for life that's the thread we spread. One life, sail it wisely.